sometimes peace of mind is worth more than saving 10 dirham on a shoe or 20 dirham on a shoe. This peace of mind is worth more. At least you can sleep peacefully knowing that your supplier sold you an authentic item.
Reyad Awad is a Dubai entrepreneur and co-founder of 3Kicks, a streetwear destination built by three brothers known for curating what's next in sneakers, fashion, and culture. He's here to reveal why reputation outlasts profit and how building with family shaped everything he stands for.
And we moved to Dubai at the end of 2018. I was 12. The Travis Scott and Reese's Puffs did a collaboration. I saw this as a bit of an opportunity.
You've got people like Andrew Tate and Floyd Mayweather to collab with you with no PR agency. Then how you made it happen?
To be honest, after we opened the store, and like I said, we really did use our age to our advantage. So we had a lot of people come in that would know that, wow, these are three brothers, very young. They're running their business.
Is it money or reputation? What is more important?
Reputation.
How did you know that?
Definitely reputation. One rule and one value my father has taught me is reputation over money. Because if you have the right reputation and the right intentions, the money comes along with it. So we were partnering someone, and before the store even opened, we found out that this specific person was making sales behind the store's back.
Every founder faces that moment when trust is tested and intention decides what survives.
I've noticed for myself, sometimes I would argue with one person and then second person. The minute I argue with two people after each other in the shop where I used to work or in the bank, or I would know then, okay, it might be me that's stressed.
Yeah. This taught me another lesson. Intention is a big thing. So what I feel is that they opened with the intention to compete with us because we didn't go partners with them. They said, okay, let me go partner with somebody else. I don't need them. I can compete with them. Not even 2 years later, they closed down. They actually called us to buy their shop out.
What do you think went wrong?
So,
welcome to the show, Reyadh.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here. So when was the first moment that you realized 3Kicks would move from an idea to an actual business?
Well, I would say this moment was 1 year after moving to Dubai. So I'm originally Lebanese, born and raised in Australia, and we moved to Dubai at the end of 2018. Beginning of 2019, or around beginning to mid 2019, the Travis Scott and Reese's Puffs did a collaboration, and I saw this as a bit of an opportunity. I come from a business background, so my father ran his own business in Australia. My grandfather had his own business and still has his own business, and so does my father. And so I thought, you know what, let me see what I can do with this. So I went and started buying the Reese's Puffs, took them to school, sold them for a profit. Well, actually, before I even got to school, this was the funny thing. So I rode my bike to my nearest Carrefour. I bought like 4 boxes, and before I even got back home, I had sold all 4 boxes.
How did you sell them?
I just sent a message on my friend's group chat saying I have these, 50 dirham a box, and before I even got home.
And how old were you at the time?
I was 12.
All right. And your brothers, they were 10 and 11?
10 and 11, yep.
And then what drove you then? Was it the money? Was it curiosity? What led you to developing 3Kicks?
To be honest, just my passion for business and wanting to work for myself. This is what drove me, and I seen the opportunity. So I thought, you know what, let me take advantage of it. And I've loved business. I've always loved business. I used to go with my dad to his office and my grandfather to his office and warehouse. So I've always been, in a business environment, and I felt really comfortable in a business environment. And so I thought, you know what, let me.
Okay. And what did your parents think about it when you told them that I wanted to do a shop?
Well, my dad's very traditional minded. So my dad back then, he was very university, become a doctor, become an engineer, all of that stuff. And my mom, she was, very for the fact that I should get an education. But she was also supporting the fact that I should start my own business. My dad wasn't against it, or wasn't fully against it. He was against it, but not fully. He still let me, but he kept telling me and kept convincing me that, go become a doctor, become an engineer. And it took time. It did take time. And eventually we ended up convincing him. But before that, for a good year before that, it was only mainly my mom's support. She would take us, she would bring us, take us to all the meets. When I'd buy an item, she'd take me to collect it. Or when I'd sell one, she'd take me to drop it off. So my mom was more on our side, and my dad was more, go to school, go to uni, become a doctor, become an engineer. And so that's what they thought originally.
Interesting. So you started by selling cereal boxes. And then what led you to see the opportunity?
So the cereal boxes, it was a collaboration with Travis Scott.
Right.
And when I looked more into Travis Scott, I noticed he had done collaboration with Jordan, so he had his own sneakers. When I seen the margin and the markup, so if they released for 700 dirham and then outside they were going for 3, 4, 5,000. So I seen, there really is an industry for this. There's a markup. I had seen other sneaker stores do it. So I thought I should get into this as well. So I started going and lining up for sneakers. My first lineup was for Yeezys, actually. I went and lined up for like 6-7 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, 6-7 hours. My brothers, we got 3 pairs. And that same week, we had sold all 3 of them, made a profit. And then we knew that, we'd be on to the next release.
How much profit did you make from that sale?
So on average, around 350 to 400 dirham a shoe.
That's a nice margin.
It was, yeah. And we were just, 10, 11 and 12. So we thought 350, 400 dirham is very nice.
But you were really young at the time. How did you use your age as an advantage?
I think that people think being young limits you from, starting a business or being business minded. And, they think, I don't have the opportunity that older people have, but it's not true, to be honest.
No?
No, you can use your age as an advantage, If you push this that, I'm 12, my brothers were 10 and 11. If you push this that we're young, we're entrepreneurs, we have that mindset that, we're very business minded. If you keep pushing this and keep proving to people and showing your potential, then it works in your favor. You don't have to be 20 years plus or 30 years plus. You don't have to have the most experience. If you just try and show that you're worthy of being in the field, then it works.
But with all the people around you probably being older, didn't they tell you that you were too young or didn't take you seriously?
To be honest, I think this was my advantage is we are very mature. Honestly, the way we were raised to be, mature children, even at our ages of 10, 11 and 12. So, I'd always hang out with my dad and his older friends and my grandfather and his friends. And, they'd be 30, 40 years older than me.
Yeah.
So I was always raised and brought up around people that were older than me, So when I went and when I met all these people and they were all older than me, the way I acted, the way I presented myself, it wasn't really like I was just a normal, I wasn't really childish. So I fit in. I fit in very well.
Dubai, such a hard place to stand out. How did you make 3Kicks stand out?
Well, we made 3Kicks stand out. One, our age, being 3 young entrepreneurs and our ages, 10, 11, 12, or when we opened 11, 12, 13 or so. And, being our age and having the connections that we had, over time we gained these connections and being able to source all these limited products at our age, not everyone at the age of 12 can source a shoe worth like 20,000, 30,000 or shoes that are numbered, So
how did you get those?
Over time, we got added to a few groups, made some friends, and then we just kept, we were...
You sold Yeezys, and then how did you end up with getting stock to actually be in your shop?
Okay, so to fund the shop, we ended up convincing our parents and my father. So my mum was always on board. Eventually, we proved to our father that there is an industry for this in Dubai, and there are a lot of customers. There is potential. We showed him the margins and how much potential this business really has, and so we convinced him. We got him on board, and then he was on our side at the end, and he helped us fund the shop. So really, it was family funded. But really, all they did was fund it. All the sourcing, all the sourcing, all the Excel sheets, the costs, how much we're going to sell it for, all the market research was all on us. So my parents did take a big risk. Really, they just invested in us and in our knowledge. And we proved to them that we were worthy. And we stocked the shop, opened up a store, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. So you talk a lot about stock, but launching a brand like 3Kicks requires marketing. You've got people like Andrew Tate and Floyd Mayweather to collab with you with no PR agency. Walk us through that and how you made it happen.
To be honest, after we opened the store, and like I said, we really did use our age to our advantage. So we had a lot of people come in that would know that, wow, these are 3 brothers, very young. They're running their business. So if they had a friend that had a social media presence, they would say, you guys should come and visit the store. It's 3 young brothers that opened up a business. very business minded. And so really that's how we started to get these big people. We just had our friends or some customers that walked in, and they seen the business, they seen our industry, they seen our store, and they knew that the three brothers were the people behind this store. So they thought, let's help these guys out. Let me try to bring some people. If I know some big people, I'll bring them in. And
so through your network, you got them to reach out to celebrities like the ones we mentioned. And did you have to like pay them or?
To be honest, we didn't have to. We have paid celebrities in the past. We have, but we find that the celebrities that come when it isn't for money are the ones that really care and are the ones that really benefit us. So it's not just about paying a celebrity, because when you pay them, they don't really care about the story, and they don't care about any of this. They just want to come because you're paying them, or if you're giving them store credit, they'll come and they'll spend the store credit and they'll leave. But it really is the celebrities that come for your story and for you and for who you are. These are the ones that really benefit you. And these are the ones that you establish a connection with, because it isn't just purely based on business. It's just based on building a relationship.
So that attention that you got from those celebrities, how did it change things for you business-wise and reputation-wise?
So business-wise, it helped us gain publicity. So that was one big thing for us. These celebrities came in and, because they seen us and they seen who was behind 3Kicks. So they thought, let me market for these guys. Let me make an Instagram post or an Instagram story. So number one, publicity. And in business, publicity is a big thing, to be able to market and to be able to get the correct people to market for you naturally is a big thing, naturally meaning you don't have to pay them to do it. And
But when you get that sort of attention, how do you know what's fake attention and real attention? Like what translates that attention into an actual sale?
From the
people that followed you through those influencers.
To be honest, just people that follow us and that engage with our social media posts. Engagement is a big thing. So if they're engaging consistently, and then when they come, if they're international viewers or an international audience, when they come to Dubai, they'll visit us. They'll say, we've seen you on this guy's post or on this guy's Instagram story, so we thought we had to visit you. And we gained publicity. And this publicity really helped us. Eventually, it gave us the opportunity to collaborate with the Emirates Airlines. So this was a big milestone for us. And for the past three years or so, we've had our 3Kicks ad on every single Emirates airplane.
How did you make that happen?
So they actually reached out to us. And they said that, we like your industry, we like your brand, and this is an opportunity for you guys to, market on the Emirates Airlines. And, Emirates.
They reached out to you guys organically?
Organically, yeah. So not Emirates Direct. Obviously, they have their marketing team and they have their people that reach out, and they've reached out to us, and they came to us with an opportunity, and we took it.
Great. So you mentioned before that your biggest challenge is choosing the right stock to actually have in your shop. So what is it? Do you get data? Do you follow your gut? How do you decide?
This is a big challenge, especially in Dubai, because Dubai is a place where trends change like weekly. They change very fast. And in our industry, you should take advantage of that trend while it lasts, and then you should be out of that trend by the time the trend is over. You can't still stay, or you can't still stock the items if the trend has passed, So being able to buy enough stock to last as the trend lasts is one of the big challenges,
Walk me through, like, if now you see a trend, Dubai chocolate is a trend.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the trend with focused on your industry. How do you pick it up? How do you decide how long it's going to stay, and when do you know when it's time to go?
We try to pick it up early, so we're always on the lookout for new trends.
What does that look like? Are you scouting Instagram? Are you on TikTok?
Scouting Instagram, or if we see a trend of customers or a chain of customers asking us for a specific product, and over time more customers start asking for this product, we say, okay, a demand is starting to build for this specific item. So we go and we start stocking this item, and then when the trend is big and it has boomed, we know, okay, it was good. So we stock this item heavily, but we stock it heavily, but we also try to remain a little bit...
You don't want to be overstocked.
I don't want to be overstocked. There's a word for it, but we don't want to be overstocked. Yeah, we can say that. We don't want to be overstocked. So we buy just enough stock as we need at the time, and we keep buying as the trend goes on. And then once we see the trend starting to slow down, our buying also slows down.
And is this all shoes, or are you doing other stuff as well?
No, so this is shoes. This is recently the Labubu trend. That was a massive trend. So when the hype was at its peak, we were very heavily stocked. And as the demand started to slow down, we stopped buying as well, and we just tried to sell the stock that we had. And now that the trend is kind of over, it was it worked out well for us. We have almost no stock left. So we were in the trend just before it reached its hype. We took advantage of it while it built and at its hype and at the top, at its peak. And then as it came to slow down, we also slowed down. And then that's just one trend that has passed.
And did you ever invest in something heavily and it cost you money or credibility?
To be honest, not really. We're very on the lookout, and we look into everything we invest in before we invest. So, and credibility and your image, especially in Dubai, is very important. If you sell, for example, one fake item, your whole image can be destroyed. All your credibility can be destroyed, especially in our industry where we sell 100% authentic, limited items. If we sell one fake item, then, it damages our reputation. So before we invest into anything or into a specific product or whatever it is, we really do our research into this product and the person that's trying to sell us this product before we invest. So alhamdulillah, we haven't. Nothing's really,
You say that, but in Dubai, the trends change really, really fast.
Yeah.
How do you keep 3Kicks relevant without losing the identity of the brand?
Okay, so our industry is very broad, so we're not just sneakers. We're more of like a community.
Okay.
So we have the sneakers, and then we have the clothing, the streetwear clothing, and then part of sneakers, there are designer sneakers. And then with these designer sneakers, we also do bags, we do watches. So it's kind of the same clientele, So the customers that'll buy the watch will buy a pair of shoes, will buy a t-shirt, will buy a bag. So we kind of try to stay in our circle, and we don't go out of our industry too much, because at the end of the day, this is our shop, this is our industry, these are the products we should focus on. So we...
what is your internal rule between you guys to decide if this is within your industry or out? Everything is trending now. You get a Labubu and you have 5 other things.
Yeah.
How do you decide what's in the identity? What's the internal rule for you guys?
The internal rule is if it fits into our industry. If it doesn't fit into our industry, then it doesn't really make sense for us to hop on that trend. A lot of people might say, it's a trend, take advantage of it. But like you said, brand identity is a big thing. And if your identity becomes one that, you just sell everything, then you don't really have much of an identity anymore.
But what is the rule? You're 3 brothers. One of them comes and says, is it by majority? Is there like a rule, or is it majority, or how do you decide then?
It's mainly majority.
Okay.
So if my brothers or if someone will come to us and say, look, this is trending, we'll sit down together, we'll say, is it really worth it for us to put in our shop? Is it going to ruin our brand identity? Because if we, like I said, if we bring something to our store that doesn't really fit in our industry, then it ruins your brand identity. And you don't want to have an identity that's known for selling everything. So you'd rather stick to your industry.
And you said no fake stuff as well.
Yeah, of course not.
How do you know it's tempting if someone comes to you and says, look, you're going to make double your margin and just take it? This is, I don't know, something that's...
No, for us, our reputation is worth more than anything.
Is it money or reputation? What is more important?
Reputation.
How did you know that?
Definitely reputation. That's one rule and one value my father has taught me is reputation over money. Because if you have the right reputation and the right intentions, the money comes along with it. If you put money first and you lose all your reputation, then that money's going to go eventually. If you have no reputation, then no one's going to come to you with the money. So if you put your reputation first and your values first, then the money all comes along with it. It's a benefit.
So you're the oldest out of 3 siblings that runs the family business. Yep. What is the hardest thing about leading the family business?
The hardest thing is trying to be a role model and also trying to promote work-life balance. Myself, when we were building the business, I didn't really care much about my work-life balance. I just wanted to work. And because it was a hobby for me in the beginning, I really, really enjoyed it, and I still really do enjoy it. But I've also noticed that it is good to have a work-life balance. So trying to be a role model of, being the older brother and being very business-minded, and also trying to promote work-life balance and family time, that is one difficulty, because I can't really say, look back to how I did it, because that isn't how I did it. I really focused on work, and for 2 years or 2-3 years, I didn't really go out with my friends at all. If anything, I actually didn't go out with my friends at all. So I was just working, meeting people for work, trying to build this business. and alhamdulillah, it paid off. So that's one thing, is trying to promote family time and work-life balance while also trying to promote the business and you know, being business-minded and being on the business path. That's one challenge, and because they kind of contradict each other. You know, being very business-minded and, you know, owning a business is harder than working a 9 to 5.
Really?
Yeah, 100%. Owning a business is much harder, but it does come with you know, it does pay differently. It does pay off. So a 9 to 5 is however many hours, but owning a business is 24/7. Owning a business 24/7, especially in our industry. And our shop, actually, we open at 9 a.m. and close at 1 a.m.
And how many hours do you spend there?
It depends on the day. You know, on a weekend, I'm spending more time there. But during the week, obviously with university and all that, I spend a bit less time there. But all of my free time is basically spent there.
And your employees, they have 2 shifts?
2 shifts, yeah.
Okay.
We have two sets. So
and
the
do you and
morning
your
shift,
brothers alternate, or is it you?
we're not on the schedule.
Okay.
So it's whenever we can go there and work there is when we go.
Loyalty.
Yeah.
What did you learn about loyalty from your family and from your customers?
From my family, loyalty is a big thing. Loyalty is a very big thing. And it doesn't only apply to business, it applies to everything. And business-wise, loyalty is very important because, you know, especially in our industry where, like we said, reputation is a big thing, loyalty works hand in hand with reputation. You know, we work with our same suppliers. We've been working with our same suppliers over 5 years or so. You know, we're loyal to these suppliers. And that's really, they're the people that uphold our reputation. Because if you go and, you know, and betray a supplier that's been good to you over time, and they've been giving you, you know, the right deals, and they only sell you authentic items. If you betray them,
But what if another supplier comes with a lower price? Same item.
well, it depends. You know, is there a risk of it not being authentic? You know, you really have to look into that, you know, because these suppliers, we've been working with them long term, you know, so at least there's peace of mind there. And, you know, sometimes peace of mind is worth more than saving 10 dirham on a shoe or 20 dirham on a shoe. This peace of mind is worth more because, you know, at least you can sleep peacefully knowing that your supplier sold you an authentic item, you know, not knowing that, oh, I saved 20 dirham on a pair of shoes or on whatever it is, but is it authentic?
Okay, let's talk about the customer now. A customer buys from 3Kicks.
Yep.
He comes back and says, hey, you know what? I don't have a real reason, or he makes up a reason, but he says, I want my money back. What would you do?
Well, in our store, we have a no refund policy.
Okay.
That's the number one thing. So we have a no refund policy. Unless there is a real reason, like, for example, the item is fake, then, alhamdulillah, we've never faced this. But if the item is fake, then of course we're going to provide a refund. But besides that, we have a no refund policy. You know,
what if someone bought a shoe the wrong size?
Well, they can come and exchange it.
Oh, you can exchange?
Yeah, no problem.
You just can't refund?
No refund. They can come and exchange it for, even if they want to take another item.
Okay.
No problem. You know, if they bought a gift for someone and that person doesn't like the gift, they can go and exchange it.
You know, you said you spend many hours in the shop. It's a lot of hard work. When things get stressful for you, how do you stay grounded?
To be honest, like for me, I take stress as motivation. You know, I really do take stress as motivation. It's not just like, you know, I'm stressed, I should calm down a little bit, or I should slow down with how much I've been working or work a little bit less. It's, you know, if I'm stressed, then there is a problem to solve. And so to solve this problem, we'll relieve the stresses for the future, you know? So whenever I am stressed, I just tend to hold my ground, find what the root problem is, solve that problem so I know, you know, that's done and I won't have to stress over it in the future again. Because if I...
But like, do you do something? Like, do you go somewhere? Do you sit somewhere? Do you speak to somebody? Or do you just, like, how do you deal with it? Because I've noticed for myself, sometimes I would argue with one person and then second person. The minute I argue with 2 people after each other in the shop where I used to work or in the bank, or I would know then, okay, it might be me that's stressed.
Yeah.
So I take some time off. I go like 2 hours. I try to keep my phone away from me and try and detach. But that's how I deal with it. Yeah. Maybe go to the gym really fast. But I realize at that point that I'm not making the best decisions. Yeah. I'm pushing things maybe more than I should.
Yeah.
Is there something that you do?
To be honest, some alone time is nice. Some alone time is nice, you know. Sometimes being stressed and going to speak to someone is also a good thing. But if you go speak to someone and then this person tries to relieve these stresses by talking to you and you don't agree with what they're saying, then it doesn't really help.
So maybe just listen to you.
Yeah, just
Who's that person that you go to listen to?
My mother. Yeah.
Okay.
She's that person.
That's
my dad's one that shows tough love. You know, so that's what I appreciate. You know, my mom's one person that I can go to and speak to whenever I'm stressed, and she'll listen to me. And then my dad's type of person to be like, well, if you're stressed, you know, there's a problem to solve.
Logical.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what's made me who I am. You know, I'm thankful and I'm blessed to have these two perspectives in my family. My mother that I can go speak to and she'll listen to me. My father that'll guide me on the right track and get things done, solve this problem, you know.
Yeah.
And work through the stress. And that's shaped who I am. Sometimes I can go speak to my mom, and sometimes I just work through the stress. And that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned to do. And it's a very important skill for me.
Yeah, you know, you're a man that wears many hats. You're the older brother. You're also running the business. How do you separate family from business? And I'll give you an example. You argue with your brother in the shop. Now you go home. How do you deal with that?
I really do try to stand by one rule, and it's to keep business out of the household. It doesn't always work, especially because our business is family based. So, you know, you do go home and you do speak about the business, but, you know, business talk and especially serious business matters don't have to be taken home. You know, home should be...
How do you do that? You're upset. You wanted someone to do something. Yeah. They don't do it. Now they're at home in front of you on the dinner table and they're looking at you like nothing happened.
Yeah.
How? Do you just wear another hat and you say, you know what, this is not the time?
Yeah,
like emotionally, can you do that?
Yeah. Sometimes you have to swallow it. You know, it's not worth arguing on a dinner table in front of your family over something that isn't so important, you know? It might be very important.
Exactly.
And if it is very important, that argument can still wait for another time. You know, it's not life or death. So it can wait to in an area or at a place or back in the store. You know, we now have an office in the store, so we can go back to that office, we can speak about it. But personally, I do try to keep family out of the household as much as I can, because family and business don't always go hand in hand. When they do, it's amazing. When they don't, it gets very heated. But at the end of the day, that's your family. So that comes first in whatever it is.
Tell me, Reyadh, do you see 3Kicks as a retail brand or a cultural movement?
I would say I see 3Kicks as a retail brand.
Yeah?
Yeah. I think it's difficult to be a cultural movement, because if this cultural movement, you know, is facing a downtrend, if you base your business as a cultural movement, then your business is also facing a downtrend. But us as a retail brand, you know, if there are certain things that are not trending and certain things that are trending, if they're not, you know, based on a specific cultural movement, we're still going with that trend. So it's hard to really be a cultural movement and a retail brand. So I would put my business at a more of a retail brand standpoint.
You've turned sneakers into a status signal in Dubai.
Yeah.
Do you think that streetwear will become the new luxury here?
This is also a trend. So like I said, it all comes down to trends a lot of the time. For example, 3 years ago, streetwear was, you know, that trend was at its peak. That was the luxury. You know, if you would wear streetwear, you know, streetwear clothing and shoes and all, that was the luxury. That was the trend. Over time, that trend kind of slowed down a little bit. Still exists, but slowed down a little bit. And the luxury is now luxury again. So that has also become the trend. For example, certain brands like Louis Vuitton, like Hermes, all these brands are starting to, you know,
fade.
No, they're coming back into...
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, no, they're very,
very trendy now. But I saw a lot of people saying that they were more into like everyday wear.
Oh, well, there's two sides to all of these brands. You know, you can go buy the everyday wear and you can go buy the formal wear. It all depends.
You think it's going back into luxury and they'll pick up?
I think we're talking about two different things when it comes to luxury. Right. I'm saying luxury brands as in these specific brands, they have now become the trend again.
Okay.
So a few years ago, I would say, or even last year or the year before, streetwear, it wasn't the luxury brand, it wasn't the Hermes, it wasn't the Louis Vuitton. That was the trend and that was at its peak. That trend has calmed down a little bit, and the luxury brands like Hermes and Louis Vuitton, they have come back to trend. So that's what's trending now again, you know? So staying with the trend is, like I said, is important. As these luxury brands come back into trend, what would
you guys do then? How do you move with the change?
We just start to stock whatever's trendy. So all these luxury brands now, we're stocking them. Reyadh was a massive, massive trend. We were probably the first retail store to have Reyadh in Dubai. And then after that, you know, we're just seeing other places start to stock them as well. Hermes, also, we have a massive variety of Hermes, bags, shoes, slides, all of that stuff. And as watches gain popularity as well, even since when we first opened, we're able to source watches. We have we have our connections. We have our connections all over the world. So, you know, as these trends come back to existence, we move along with them. We have the connections for everything. So whatever anyone's looking for, we're able to get. And whatever's in trend, we're able to stock.
Great.
Yeah.
So what do you think that, you know, your business is based in Dubai. What do you think Dubai offers founders that other cities don't have?
I would say opportunity and publicity, because Dubai in itself has massive publicity. You know, Dubai is always on social media, always the place to be, always trendy. So this in itself gives all the businesses in Dubai.
Yeah. So the name Dubai itself as a brand,
Yeah.
if you say you're in Dubai, you're saying that's good enough because everyone's already kind of seeing that brand everywhere and it gives you some sort of like credibility.
It's not good enough, but it's definitely a benefit. You know, you still have to prove yourself as a business, as a brand. You know, you still have to have the correct reputation.
Right.
But Dubai in itself is definitely a benefit because it does give that publicity. And I would say that's one. And then for opportunity, you know, Dubai is very small, very easy to network here. You know, if you're at the right places, even if you're not at the right places, anywhere you are, you'll be able to meet someone or, you know, have a meeting with someone. Anywhere you are, you'll be able to find someone, become friends with them. And it doesn't always have to be business-based, but that person can become your customer. That person can become an investor.
True.
It doesn't have to start there, but, you know, it can finish there. You know, I can meet someone, we can become friends, we can become good friends. I find out what they do might be in interest to me or what I do might be in interest to them. So, you know, in that case, we can both benefit each other. So that's one good thing about Dubai is that it's small, very easy to network. And all the people that you want to be networking with are in Dubai.
So you're saying the quality of people as well, because you can get them as an investor, as a buyer, as a customer.
Yeah.
Right?
Quality of people in Dubai. We have a very wide variety of people in Dubai, but all the people that you want are here. You know.
So when you say all the people you want, your customers, their demographic is mainly, is it a certain nationality? Is it a certain age group?
There isn't a certain nationality or a certain age group. It's just that being in Dubai, from my customers' perspective, where trends are a massive thing here. All these customers go along with the trend that that Dubai brings and what's currently trending in Dubai. You know, so if all the customers are like this, then it benefits us. But then again, the people that besides our customers, the people that are going to be friends or investors, these people are also here as well. So besides customers, it's very easy and very beneficial, long-term and short-term, to network with people here in Dubai.
And where's the top place to go to network with people in Dubai?
The top place to go? To be honest, I wouldn't say going to certain places helps you network, you know? Because if you're going there searching for network, it's different to when you meet someone naturally or meet someone in a normal, natural environment and you network naturally.
What does it look like? A customer walks into your shop and then you meet them?
Yeah, if a customer walks into my shop, or, you know, if I bump into someone in Dubai Mall, or even in City Walk, if they say, oh, I like your shoes, where do you get them from? Or I like your watch, where do you get that from? You know, these natural interactions, that's how I feel like you should really network. Because a lot of the time when you're going to certain places and trying to network and trying to meet people, it isn't too authentic, you know? Sometimes it just feels a little bit fake. So meeting someone naturally in a natural environment, you know, over a topic that isn't business-based, I feel like that's how you...
Exactly. Yeah. I would completely agree.
Yeah. I feel like that's how you start a conversation, build a relationship, and that's how you should
connect emotionally, and then the transaction could or could not.
100%.
So you said all these positive things, but what is the biggest misconception about doing business in Dubai?
The biggest misconception is anyone can move here and open up a business and it's going to be successful. That's the biggest, without a doubt.
Tell me more.
Without a doubt. You know, we've had certain situations in the past where, you know, we might be onboarding someone to be, for example, a partner in our business, and then something might go wrong. And then this actually happened with us. We were partnering someone, and if anything, the deal was fully beneficial to them.
And you guys as well.
99% of the benefit was in their favor. That's because they had a lot more experience than we had at the time. So we thought, at least we have someone to safeguard what we're investing and blah, blah, blah. And then that didn't fall through.
What do you think went wrong?
The trust wasn't there.
From them?
From them.
Interesting. Even though 99% of the value would go there.
This was shocking. But it was also very good for us. It was very eye-opening. Even if 99% of the value was on their side, still can't trust them. So like it taught me a lesson where, you can't really trust anyone depending on, even if you're providing as much value as you can to them and as much value and as beneficial as it is to them. A lot of the time when money gets in people's faces, it changes them.
They had so what were they thinking?
So we had a deal between us where they were gonna be partners with us for free. We were just gonna partner them, and in return, they'd be the one stocking our store and all that. But part of this was they are not allowed to sell to anyone else behind the store's back. Any transaction that they were completing must be done through the store. And before the store even opened, we found out that this specific person was making sales behind the store's back. Any sales that I was making before we opened the store was still going through the store.
Right. But they weren't upholding their...
No. So we ended up ending that partnership. And then 1 year after we opened our store, that person went and partnered with somebody else and opened 300 meters away from me.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And they're doing the same product?
Exact same industry, same products. They also had a cafe in their store. It was exactly the same. But this taught me another lesson which was, intention is a big thing. So I feel is that they opened with the intention to compete with us because we didn't go partners with them. They said, okay, let me go partner with somebody else. I don't need them. I can compete with them. And then not even 2 years later, they closed down. They actually called us to buy their shop out.
Oh, wow.
Yep. So we went there and, we offered to buy all their stock. And, they called us there to buy all their stock.
Right.
So that was a big turning point for me. And it was very eye-opening to me that intention is a big thing. And if they open with the wrong intention, that's what happens. So, at the end, it worked out for us. We got rid of someone that we were not able to trust, and we are the sole owners of the business as our family. 100% is.
Did you end up taking their stock?
We did buy some of their stock. It was actually a bit of a weird interaction. I went there to buy all their stock, and I asked, how much, and what their actual words was the tag price minus 10%. And I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
You're closing down.
Are you selling to me?
You're closing down. I'm here to offer to buy all your stock. And
if I bulk buy as well.
Yeah, if I don't buy all your stock, you're going to be stuck with all of it.
What did you agree on?
We didn't come to an agreement on many items. Only some, just because I was there anyway. So I did buy a few items, but that just ended it for me altogether. Even if I wanted to buy more, I didn't, because I knew I had the suppliers to buy the stock anyways. And if anything, I was only...
what did you learn about trust and people from that interaction?
That trust is a big, big thing, but to some people, money is worth more than trust. So, like I said, for us, trust and values and reputation and all that comes before money. Like we said, it's always money after. The money comes later. As long as your reputation is there and your values are there and you're an honest person and an honest businessman, the money will come. But some people put the money before their word and put the money before, their trust and before their reputation. So that's why the money comes first. And then as their reputation is known to be not the greatest, the money will go as fast as it came.
So what's next for your brand? Is it expansion? What is it?
I would say expansion. Alhamdulillah, we have a very good amount of stock for our store, and it's now just looking for the right time and the right place to open another store, if that.
And how do you find where to open a store?
Foot traffic, customer demographic. If there's a majority nationality in that specific area, then the nationality is worth it for us, and if they are good customers, then might be worth it for us to open there. There's a lot of foot traffic.
What percentage of your sales is foot traffic versus online?
99% foot traffic.
Really?
Oh yeah.
But even if they heard about your store, they need to actually walk in to see the item. And
That's the thing with our store.
okay,
Is a lot of the time our customers are first time buyers, so they don't know how the item feels, how it fits, how it's going to look on them. So that's why it's different for us. For example, like a restaurant can sell online. You know what you're going to get.
Yeah.
But for us, you don't know if it's going to fit correctly. And if you're an international online customer, if they buy the item and we ship it to them, then it fits different. Then it's just a complicated process. We're gonna have to ship it back, replace the shoe, reship it to them. So it's just a long process, and that's why for us it's majority walk-in customers.
Where would be
online.
the ideal location for your next shop?
An ideal location I would say is a mall, because Dubai is very seasonal, very very seasonal. So during the winter, from October to March or so is Dubai's peak. So that's when all the foot traffic is present. But then during the peak summer, there isn't much foot traffic, especially in outdoor locations.
Right.
So for us in City Walk, it's not the busiest. City Walk isn't the busiest during the summer. So I would say a mall would be an ideal second location, because it's an all-rounder location during the winter, during the summer.
Which mall in Dubai?
I would say Dubai Mall or Mall of Emirates.
You never know. Someone could be listening to this show.
Yeah.
And look, if 3Kicks ended tomorrow, what do you want people to remember about it?
That we were three brothers that started this business from scratch. And, we ran the business, we built the business, and we were honest, trustworthy three businessmen. And this was our first business, but not our last.
Not your last.
No.
If you had to give an advice to a 12-year-old that wanted to start something today,
Yep.
What are your words for them?
For a 12-year-old, I would say, don't let your age limit you. We are prime examples of this. I was the eldest brother at 12. My brothers were 10 and 11, so don't let your age limit you. Don't let people get to your mind. Don't let people get to your brain, or you're too young. You're still in primary. Don't worry about any of that. Work through it. That's just the whispers in your ear. Don't let it get to you. I would say a big thing. That's a big thing. Don't let other people's comments and other people's words get to your brain and slow you down or demotivate you. Stay motivated. Stay pushed. Always stick to your word, and your word is going to be the thing that differentiates you from everyone else. Because as long as your word remains one, then that'll be your value. You'll be trustworthy. You'll be honest, and then the money will come.
Great. I'm going to say a sentence and I want you to complete it.
Okay.
Success in Dubai means?
I would say success in Dubai means success in the most competitive business environment. Because everyone thinks that you can come to Dubai and you can start a business from scratch and it's going to be competitive and it's going to be successful. So just by business nature, everyone's going to move here and it's going to become a very competitive business environment. So having a successful business in Dubai isn't just having a successful business here. It's having a successful business in an environment that is very competitive.
Very highly competitive. You're
Very
right,
high,
because
yeah.
everyone can come and do it. Naturally, you have competition. And I think many people don't see that last part, like you said. So, look, we're going to now jump to the rapid fire round.
Okay.
I'm going to say one word. Tell me what comes to your mind.
Okay.
Money.
Values.
Fame.
Publicity.
Risk.
Reward.
Family.
First.
Failure.
Not the fastest, but I would say opportunity.
Dubai.
Opportunity as well.
All right. Thank you so much for coming to the show, Reyadh,
Thank you for having me.
and for sharing your valuable experience with people that are watching. You might inspire somebody that's looking up to you, that one day wants to do something and looks at this as a final push for them to move. But before we let you go, we have one more question to ask you.
Okay.
For the person that's watching this podcast and came all the way to the end here and doesn't press the subscribe button, what are your words for them?
My words for them is see this as an opportunity for you to gain business knowledge and as an opportunity for you to start your own business. So not subscribing is not taking that opportunity.
Take the opportunity, guys.
Exactly.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.